Welcome to the Minesweeper project on VBTeacher.com.
Now we need to build our form for playing on, and there's a few controls we'll add. First of all, we're going to get rid of our mine cell that we used here for testing, and then we need to open up our toolbox. Now we're going to add a couple of fundamental container type things. First, we need a menu on the top of the screen, and we'll need a menu strip. And there we go. And our menu strip we'll label the top level game, and then we'll label the pull down menus. We'll have a couple of those here. First, we'll have an item here for a new. An ampersand then puts an underline and allows you to use an alt followed by that letter to access the menus. New. And the next one down, we're going to use a dividing line, which all you have to do there is put in a hyphen. And then below that, we'll put in a beginner level. And so again, ampersand beginner, and then intermediate, and advanced. So we'll be able to access these from the top menu on the screen. Okay, and next we'll need to add a control on the bottom part of the screen. Let's make this a little smaller so we can see the whole thing. We're going to use a table layout panel, which is a device that allows very simple alignment of controls even as we change the size of things, and it is a container control, a table layout panel, and we're going to give it 3 columns and 2 rows. We have right now 2 columns and 2 rows. We need 1 more column, and then we need to give it some property settings, and let's give it the property settings like this. Let's make the back color like a dark gray, controlled dark gray, and next we want to dock it in the form, and we'll dock it like this, and so now it fills out the form. And the third thing we need to do, and we need to edit the rows and columns, which you can get either here or at the bottom of the you can also get this if you go down to the bottom of the properties, usually they're down here. Don't see it today. We'll use this one then, and we'll edit the rows and columns. And the way we want this to be is column 1 will be 50, column 2 we want this to be an absolute width of 60 pixels, and column 3 is going to be 50%. And then the rows, we'll do row 1 as 60 pixels, and row 2 as 100%. And that will then give us a look something like that. That does not look right. Let me look at that again. Edit rows and columns. Rows. Row 1 absolute 60 pixels, and row 2 100. Somehow that didn't get quite what I wanted. There we go. Now we can place some controls in there in these cells. We're going to place a couple of labels up in the top. Label mines. We'll place a label up here called mines in the upper left corner in this cell, and we'll do some settings of properties here in a minute. That will be called label mines, and then we'll need a label in the upper right corner which we'll call label clock, which will go up here. Its name, make sure that's a name property, label clock. And then in the top center we're going to add a button. We'll just call it button 1 would be fine, or button restart or some such thing. And name will be button 1. Let's just leave it at button 1 for now. And then down below we're going to add a panel, panel mine, and panels are containers. So panel, and this will be panel mine, PNL, panel mine. And so there we go. Now we're going to set the back color for all of these to the same color, just out of uniformity. And the back color of all of these can be we want kind of a pale blue, I think. Something like that, I guess. Whoops. I got everything. I didn't want the table layout panel. Let's try this again. Okay, label, shift, button, label, that. Now let's try the back color again. Something light bluish. Not too strong. Blue gray, that works. Alright, so those four now have the same relative color. And now we need to set some properties for all of these. Each of these labels, the two labels will be approximately the same settings. First, you need to find the property called auto size and turn it off. Secondly, we need to dock these both so they're fill. And thirdly, we need to set the margins a little bigger. We're going to set the margins all to 9. And hope that works. There we go. And the button will be the same. We're going to dock the button. Where's my button dock? There it is. And we'll set the margins for the button at 9 again. And that works. And we're going to change the labels on all of these. We're going to set these two to center align. Two labels now, we're going to set their alignment, their text alignment, to text align center center. I need both of them. Text align center center. And our button is going to have an image, text image relation. Let's see, image. We're going to have a little restarting picture on there. We'll come back to that later. For now, we do not want any text on the button at all. Then over here, we're going to just start these off with the property value, the text value of 0. And let's set the font size a bit bigger to, I don't know, 16-ish. So we'll set these both to some larger size font like Arial bold 16 for both of them. We'll set the second one text label 0, font size bold 16 Arial. Okay, like that. And then down here on the panel mine, we're going to set this up to be docked. We're going to tell it to span 3 columns, so it'll go all the way across, and then we'll set its margins to 9. So these are all kind of nicely spaced out, all looking about the same. Now, when this is done correctly, when you use your table layout panel, something like this, you can resize the form. The table layout panel has this wonderful property that as you resize the form, your interior controls resize along with it, and the thing stays about the same sort of design without you having to do any programming work to measure how large things are. And we're going to come back and work with our little icon here in the middle. I think we'll show you how to draw that one manually using the icon editor. And then we're going to start writing the code that will combine the mine cells with our panel mine here and get the game so that it begins to play. And so this was the layout of the form, and thank you for programming along.